Well, it looks like it has been a while since this scene has unfolded. Namely, I'm back in my place now. Um, so I was hoping to make this video a little bit earlier, but it seems like things kept getting in the way. Um, 2 days ago on March 6th, 2025, around, I guess, what was it? I mean, the official time is whatever they quote on the media, but I think I wrote down in my journal, since I was sitting in the mission control room at that point, it was around 11:33 a.m. Local time, Houston time, on March 6th, that our spacecraft landed. And suffice to say, I feel bittersweet about it. The flight dynamics guys, a bunch of them and gals, went over to Molly's pub afterwards to celebrate. But there was a sense of relief and also a sense of accomplishment for doing some good things, but also the feeling that kind of like a bittersweet feeling is how I would describe it. The last few minutes there, seeing that telemetry and you know knowing what was going to happen, what was possibly going to happen, and now I guess it's on the news, so that we didn't land upright and all. And looking at the telemetry and everything, I don't know. It was pretty stressful. Not that we could do anything since the last minutes that we're all autonomous. But my whole point is like, I think the reason why we're not as happy as we could have been is because we had a lot higher expectations this time. For our first mission, a lot of things didn't quite go the way we wanted to. And so near the end, assuming that we even landed, we were feeling pretty lucky. This time, I think the sentiment was more like, oh, wow, like everything was going pretty well for the most part. And so we had really high expectations of landing perfectly as well. And so because that was not, that did not become reality, at least in this version of the multiverse, the feelings were a lot more subdued in terms of celebration. At least that's how I felt personally, and I could see that as well in some of my other coworkers. Um, so yeah, I mean, I don't know, like could have, I suppose, lowered our expectations, but why? We were doing really well, and why wouldn't we? You always, like in life, at least. I'm not just talking about like space projects. If you do something once and then you do it imperfectly, right? And then you do it again, you would think the general you would think you would do better the next time, and so naturally you hold yourself to a higher standard, and you expect things to be better. And for the most part, most of the mission was way better for sure in terms of all the updates for trajectory and performing the maneuvers and not having any crazy emergencies. Most of it was pretty chill. So relatively speaking. Um, but yeah, like I think that's definitely a big aspect of it, that we had higher expectations, and those expectations were not fully met for landing. And so, for my part, working, as part of the navigation team on the way to the moon, um, we did our part pretty well, I would say, and I definitely learned a lot. I was not, um, you know, not the main person there for sure, just part of the team here. So my point is, it definitely felt like we improved by leaps and bounds in terms of that area alone. I mean, other subsystems for sure as well have significantly improved. Anyways, all that is to say is that yeah, when reality doesn't meet like expectations, when you set your expectations higher, and even if you do something really wonderful, like of course I feel accomplished and happy. I mean, we landed, we flew really well, a lot of things went well, but it's like, obviously part of me wished like, oh well, it wasn't, it could have been, you know. But as I was telling other people, for something like a space project, if you have, if you wanted to be 100% successful, then you should expect most likely just about everything. Let's just say 100% of required things to work properly. If you only have like, if you have like just 1% that doesn't work properly, so to speak, or you have some unforeseen circumstance, you could always have that. I mean, landing is always always rough, right? So landing on a different planet, different world. So point is, you can never plan out anything perfectly. Like everything has to go perfectly well for you to land perfectly well. So if you have a slight deviation from that, a slight perturbation, a slight incorrect something, you're not going to have full mission success. I mean, you're gonna, yeah. I mean, that's just what it is. So, and I think most people who tackle complicated projects realize that, like space projects, is one classic example, right? Like, there's a lot more missions that fail than succeed. Or like, and failures can happen in multiple fronts. Like, two of our ride shares that went with us up on the SpaceX, we couldn't like the bad comms, bad tracking. They were lost after the first day or two. So, that's like, wow. So, anyways, it's a dangerous world out there. So I'm glad to have been part of the team and continue to be part of it. I hope to continue forward and, make the next mission be more of a success. Well, do what we can. The other aspect, like on a personal front, I was supposed to go to my friend Justin's birthday dinner today. I completely overslept. My sleep schedule, I've been trying to adjust it, but yesterday I had to go help out a friend, take her to the airport, things like that. And I didn't get as much rest, and I was just sleeping pretty fitfully over the night for some reason. So today I was like, well, then I went back to bed at like 11 in the morning, and I was expecting to, definitely wake up before 5, since his dinner was at 6. But I woke up at like 7:15, and I missed like dinner was all the way out in Katy, so I missed like all of it. Feel a little bit bad about that, I suppose, but it is what it is. I think my expectations there was that I'll eat some delicious hot pot, since we're going to get this Chinese hot pot. And I was really looking forward to that and meeting some of his other friends I haven't met yet. But I don't know. I mean, this once again, it's like I had these expectations, I suppose, of having if I had a version of what would happen, and that did not happen, and so I feel a bit sad and disappointed, I suppose, with that. But this is salvageable. I think we might. I'm still going to meet up with him later. So yeah, not like directly comparable to going to the moon, say, but it's a similar sort of what do you call it, theme, where I anticipate something happening and it doesn't go the way that it didn't unfold the way it did. In this particular scenario, I probably could have set an alarm. Didn't have to trust my biological clock, I suppose. Anyway, there were a bunch of you can always say that. You can always say there's other things you could have done. That's how life is, right? Like, reality can unfold in a multitude of ways, and you can't possibly foresee every single possible thing you could have done to make reality fit what you wanted. That's just how life is, I suppose. But in any case, that's about it for now. I will probably make another reading series later, since I do have a lot of this webcam is stacked on a pile of books here. Just give you an idea. It's like, wow. Yep. Okay, the Holy Bible. Yes, not going to read that one out loud, at least. But anyways, some of these other books I'm going to read later too. Like, still slowly digging through, well, all of them really. So, okay. Ciao for now.